Leo and the Secret of the Wind Chimes. Episode 4. The Raven's Riddle. The raven's challenging caw still echoed in the air as Leo and Pip hurried back to the safety of the garden. Leo placed the small brass bell, the first sound seed, on the soft grass. It gave off a gentle warmth and a faint humming sound, as if it were whispering something. "How are we supposed to find the next one now?" Pip asked nervously, his little ears drooping. That raven looked really scary. He's definitely not going to leave us alone. Leo was worried too, but looking at the bell reminded him that he was a guardian. He had to be brave. He tried rubbing his cheek against the bell, letting out a soft, peaceful purrrr. Strangely, the spiral pattern on the bell began to glow. It projected a faint, shimmering image onto a fallen leaf. The image showed a tall tower with a large clock, along with a whisper on the wind. "I rest where time speaks its song, in the nest of one who gathers stars all day long." Pip squinted at the glowing words on the leaf. "Where time speaks its song. Gathers stars." The clever mouse suddenly gasped. "I know. It's the old clock tower in the center of the city, and the one who gathers stars has to be Corvus, the raven we just saw. He's famous among all the small creatures for hoarding anything that shines." The next mission was clear. As dangerous as it was, they had to go straight to Corvus's lair. The journey to the clock tower wasn't easy. The two of them had to climb up old brick walls and squeeze through narrow drain pipes. Finally, they reached the top of the tower, right below the giant clock face. Corvus's nest was there, and it wasn't just made of twigs. It was woven with all sorts of shiny things, pieces of foil, bottle caps, a lost earring, and, right in the center, was a clear marble, glowing with a soft light of its own. It was the second sound seed. "Welcome to my home, little cat and mouse," a scratchy voice called out. Corvus was perched on one of the clock's hands, his beady black eyes watching them with amusement. "Give that marble back to us," Leo said bravely. "It's very important." Corvus let out a dry chuckle. "I don't steal things. I simply collect what has been forgotten. This marble is quite beautiful. However, I am a fan of games. I will not fight you with strength. I will challenge you with wits." Corvus flew down, landing across from them. "I will give you 3 riddles. If you solve all 3, the marble is yours. But if you lose, you must give me that shiny little bell. Deal?" Leo looked at Pip. It was a risky gamble, but there was no other way. He nodded in agreement. "Excellent," said Corvus. "First riddle, I have cities but no houses. I have mountains but no trees. I have water but no fish. What am I?" Pip scratched his head. "A city with no houses? A mountain with no trees? That's impossible." But Leo thought about the things his owner often looked at. He answered confidently, "A map." Corvus blinked, a little surprised. "Correct. Second riddle, what is always coming, but never arrives?" This time, Pip thought of buses and trains, but all of them eventually arrive. Leo thought about the feeling of waiting for On to come home from school each day. He said, "Tomorrow." Corvus was starting to look annoyed. "Impressive. But you won't get this last one. I have no wings, but I can fly. I have no eyes, but I can cry. What am I?" No wings, but it flies? No eyes, but it cries? Pip was stumped. Leo looked out at the vast sky beyond the clock tower, at the fluffy white shapes drifting by. He remembered the rainy days in his garden. He smiled and answered, "A cloud." Corvus was stunned. A little kitten had solved all 3 of his riddles. Though he hated to part with the glowing marble, Corvus was a creature who kept his word. He used his beak to nudge the glowing marble over to Leo. "You win," he said in his raspy voice. "Your wisdom has earned you this prize." Leo and Pip joyfully thanked Corvus. As they were about to leave, the raven suddenly called after them, his voice laced with mystery. "That marble was easy to find, little cat. But the final seed is something you will never find, because it is not something you look for." With that, Corvus flapped his great wings and soared into the night, leaving Leo and Pip with the second sound seed and a clue that was even harder than a riddle. Music becomes thoughtful and mysterious. Narrator's voice. What a strange clue. What is the final seed if it's not something to be found? Leo's journey is nearing its thrilling conclusion. To share these final, exciting moments with your child and discover the true power of love, parents, please be sure to press subscribe on the Good Kid Stories TV channel so you don't miss episode 5. Thank you so much, and we'll see the whole family again for the next chapter.